The all-new Honor X7D. 5-star SGS Premium Drop Resistant, 6,500 milliampere per hour. Super large battery. IPS Honor X7D. Extra tough, extra power.
iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiskiTimes.co.za. That's Bafana Bafana 3. Zambia 1. I had a beautiful monologue in a previous video about Africans and Africanness as well, but we had to delete that video. We're starting now again. Thank you so much for joining us. Bafana Bafana winning against Zambia in a friendly match as they are building up to the African Cup of Nations. Our analyst, Lindo Pep, what did you think of the game, sir?
A very good game from Bafana Bafana. I think for me, the first thing to note is that my preparations are Afcon. So the profile, of course, sometimes in African football, when you organize such games, it's a give and take. Maybe there's 3 options and you take the one that's suitable based on the opponents that you're going to face in the African Cup of Nations. Your first game is against Zimbabwe, which is a very crucial game. The profile of Zambia, they've got speedy wingers, which is the very same profile.
They were thinking that the people who lead South African football, that's what,
maybe the technical
what you know about them for the past 25 years, that's what they were thinking to make this decision, or coincidentally, these are our neighbors. We have a date in November, and then we're playing them.
I saw Morocco playing against
No, it's South African football.
Yeah, South African football.
The human beings who lead us here, who failed women's football, they are about to lose Hollywood Bets as a sponsor. You think that in their brain, they came up with that idea?
I think that they had 3 options. Sometimes that's why I said I started by saying it's a give and take. Sometimes you're given options. Maybe it's based on availability. There's certain countries that you want to play against, but maybe they're not available to play against you. And then you're given options. You're given a Zimbabwe, you're given a Mozambique, and you play Mozambique.
So in the limited scope
by
of what
choosing.
You just said, so they chose Zambia because they think they're going to... You think that those people...
That might be one of the reasons. That the profile is almost similar to a Zimbabwe.
So you're giving them the credit that they would have thought that, those people?
Maybe the technical team. Not Isafa. I would give the technical team in terms of Hugo Bros. He's done a lot of things. I would want to give him the benefit of the doubt. Whether true or not.
But the association is the one ultimately would make the decision.
For sure.
So you think that they would have...
Maybe they gave Hugo Bros options to choose, and he probably chose Zambia, as if Zambia would be maybe closer to our preparations.
Not as a coincidence of geography. That sometimes we play Eswatini, sometimes we play Lesotho because they are here, they can drive here.
Maybe in the options that we had, Zambia was the best option to play in this situation. The closest.
Yeah.
Maybe we had options, maybe the best one was Zambia.
Yeah, but not because Zambia fit the profile
of
Zimbabwe.
Yes, for me, Zambia does fit the profile.
Yeah,
a little bit. Maybe not identical.
That's coincidental.
It's coincidental. Maybe
Those
you can say that.
Those people were the closest people to us, and we couldn't pay someone else.
Yeah, maybe you can say that, because for me, I Uncheka profile Zambia, for example, they've got this number 10 who's quick and dynamic. Abo Kama Piliat, Musona. They've got tall and high centre backs and midfielders, similar profile to Abo Muneti and these boys who are tricky in midfield. But for me, the most crucial things were for me the result was not the most important thing, even though I did want to win. There's certain patterns of play that I wanted to see. It's the friendly game. There's certain profiles and certain patterns, styles of play that I wanted to see. For example, the connection in between the fullbacks and the winger was the most important in my opinion. I wanted to see, because most of the time Modlala Nelo block, the number 8, the 2 double 8s can block the wingers because the striker and the number 10 Bamakama centre backs. So I wanted to see a tactical variation where I want Tumdawi in the final third so that he can cause it damage. I wanted to see Ukabini causing it damage as well. I wanted to see both wingers in terms of variation. Can they sometimes go wide? Can they sometimes go in? And the tactical variation that needs to happen in midfield, where you have Yaya. In my opinion, even though Yaya, I understand why he plays in the national team, he helps you with different variations, because in the national team and in senior football, at the highest level of football, in African football, it's about finer details. You need to defend your set piece. Sometimes there's periods in the game where you have to suffer. Uyaya offers you intelligent qualities, like defensive qualities. He is able to anticipate. Some of the best defensive midfielders, more especially when you play against teams that play on a counter, on a second ball, is that you need a midfielder that is able to anticipate and to interpret the game. I think those are his best qualities. Maybe joining and influencing a game in the final third, those are not his strengths. That's why Mocheka in the first half, Utebza became very important, because Utebza was the one who was trying to link up the play, trying to find Umbule. Also, relationism is important, because Utebza, every time Agabambi Bola, the first person to look up is Umbule, and he found Umbule. Umbule, another thing is that today, why he played very well is the ability to play with both feet. That gives him an advantage, but also to stick a little bit longer in the hole, where he could receive tennis ball, Atolabo Apolis, Atolabo Muremi. I think that we could have created more opportunities. But for me, I just wanted a tactical variation in the second half, where I needed a midfielder that can join a little bit in the box. Maybe Umbata brought a different dimension, because Umbata was so progressive in midfield as well. The combination at the back looks solid for me. Uronza looks at least a little bit of communication, but there's certain elements in the Bafana Bafana team that I want to see improve going into the national team. One of the reasons why we don't have box entries is because we play with Umbule, who I believe that maybe with him sticking longer into the hole, he needs someone to run off him. And Ulail Foster also plays similar to a number 10. So we don't have runners that cause damage into the final third. So for me, if we do play with Umbule, we need to be cognizant of the fact that we need runners that go beyond him. And Utebza was not willing to go beyond him. Yaya was not willing to go beyond him. Or our police is not willing to go beyond him. I think we only saw him once in the game where he did that. Now, Yufunukdala almost as a number 10 in front of the opponent, but he became dangerous, our police, when he started running behind the defense, where he caused a lot of damage. I like a player who has the ability of playing with both feet because he makes it look simple by receiving with his left and punishing, but a very important and a very good performance overall from the boys.
Yeah, I think you are giving too much credit to Yaya. I want to go back to him. I need you to finish the thought of what you see him doing. Now, practically, that's why I always emphasize the watching of the game in terms of let's keep watching so that we can make reference to the things that we're seeing. There's something that Umukwena did with Yaya where it was as if Yaya is an opposition player. Umukwena would start behind him with the ball and he would go up beyond him with the ball. When we were defending, Umukwena would go behind him, and when we were attacking, Umukwena would go ahead of him. I think that is a wasted midfielder. Football has different phases. When we have the ball, without the ball, in transition, in set pieces. I think that if you're looking for him, of course he scored a goal from a set piece. That's the one thing it does. Football is won within a 90-minute game. And if you dominate that game, you will most likely win it. But if you have one less player that you're paying in all different phases, except for one phase, which is the set piece, then that's a liability. Why do you think the coach relies on him, or why do you think the coach prefers him? Because he kept him in the game even in the second half.
There's so many dynamics. He's a very important player for us, Yaya Toure. And I feel that he's playing him today, and he continues to play him to boost his confidence. I think one of the reasons is because he needs him for Afcon. Like I said to you, the first tactical disadvantage of South Africa is when you identify and when you analyze them is that they want to attack about fullbacks. So that leaves a vulnerability. So you need a number 6 that has the ability to anticipate and to read those diagonal balls that come. So he helps you in that department.
Now,
when you're playing against special players.
Specifically about those, I like that we're breaking this down because that's why I say if we watch that game, we will see. And that game will either confirm what you are saying.
Can I say something before you continue?
It will disagree with what you're saying.
In this game, so maybe we did not need it.
But you can't negate this part that I'm saying. Okay. In that game, because we have to talk about the game itself, there were no moments where, and there were moments where Umuda was going ahead, and what you are saying did not happen where he's covering. In fact, it was Utebza, that's why I'm emphasizing this point. It was Utebza who would run ahead of him and then also recover for him on his behalf. So that's a wasted midfielder. Although you might say all the glowing things about him, it's not happening in the mesh that we are watching.
For me, the context of football, sometimes players are injured. He comes from an injury. He's an important player. He played very well for Bafana Bafana. He's been a consistent...
The match is unfolding in front of us. I will always go back to matches. Always go back to matches. And this is why we have a disagreement even with our fans, with our fan base, with our audience. The match is unfolding in front of us. Is it doing what you are saying is doing now? There's one midfielder who's playing for 2 midfielders. Maybe in the second half, maybe slightly better because there was no longer a Debza to carry him.
Yeah.
But he was not doing the things you are describing in the first half.
In the first half, I have to admit, even he would admit that he did not play well in the first half. But I am saying, based on his role in the national team moving forward, today, I would understand it's a friendly game.
It's not the first match we've ever watched.
It's a friendly game.
But it's not the first match we've ever watched.
Every game that I've watched, when South Africa plays a games of consequence, and he's there in the midfield, he plays a crucial role for Bafana Bafana. And that's how I judge him.
Now, I will hold you on that. Because I think we have to get to that point. Even with, I hope South Africans, we could watch with them as well. The next game he plays, we have to have a pen and paper and write down the things that you're saying he's doing so that we can just conflate these two opinions, that it is not true that he does those things. It is not true just because coincidentally in one phase of play, he headed the ball, one phase of play, does not... It does not compensate for the things that he doesn't do. It's not like he's good defending when we don't have a number behind. Because Umukwena was running behind him. It's not that he helps us. In fact, when we were doing a build-up, he would be 6 meters ahead of Umukwena. But what he was doing was, he was running and have an opponent between him and Umukwena, instead of getting an angle, your space. The next games, and just like because we've been watching this game so many years, in the previous games, it's the same thing. He's not doing the things that people think he's doing. They might give him credit. He looks like he's doing them, but he's not doing them.
For me, there's 2 phases of the pitch. For me, Yaya Toure, the one thing that I can say he must improve is please find your winger, please find your number 10. Utebs amaga receive bola, he looks up, he finds Umbule, he looks up, he finds Unkota, he looks up, he finds Umuremi.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that he needs to do in his game. But in terms of the other side of his game, where he's crucial for us in midfield, because we've got two midfielders that he cannot do the same thing that Utebs is doing. He's got a different role. Now, Utebza, you don't give him responsibilities of tracking back. Now, Utebza can actually advance a little bit. That's why I'm saying maybe in this game it did not happen. But if you watch when we play crucial games, there's a passer guy
This
shine
is
in
not the
Nigeria.
last game we'll watch.
For sure.
We will watch other games as well. I'm so.
He's very important.
I've seen him in other matches as well. He's not going to do it again. Right now, we have to do it differently. We take a pen and paper. There's no need to argue about players, but the match is unfolding. We can see it. Take a pen and paper and say, how many times did he touch the ball? How many times did he recover for us? And how many times did he give the ball away? It's as simple as that. And I'm sure there's so many people who understand that position who are watching us. They know that this guy is an extra midfielder that we don't need. Is there an
There's
option,
games where you don't
is
play
an
him.
option where you wouldn't use Umbata, Nutebza? Would you look at that? Or Utebza, Nodemtajela, would you look at that?
There's games
or
where
you can't take him out of the team.
there's games where I need only ball players. And I'm playing against Nigeria. I start him. I play against Ivory Coast. I play against Morocco. I start with Yaya Toure. I play against Zimbabwe. I can give Umbata and other players an opportunity. But if I'm playing a crucial game, he's starting my game.
But we'll do this. We'll do this experiment of writing down and confirming whether or not he's doing all these things. Let's take it up then. We're going to Afcon.
Yeah.
Does this look like a team that's going to Afcon? Do you make any changes? Do you call any other players? Or there's a thing that we want to happen, and then there's a thing that Hugo Bros will do.
Yeah.
Do you think this is Hugo Bros' team and there's nothing much that will change here?
Yeah, there's nothing much that will change. Maybe one surprise might surprise us. But for me, in general, we've got all the profiles of players that we need in the national team. I think we are well balanced. For the first time in a very long time, we can approach the game differently. We can play on a transition. We can play positionally. We can play a low block as well. We've got a left back that plays almost like a centre back in Ukabini. We've got a left back that can go up, similar with the right backs we have, similar with the approach in midfield. I think one of the reasons why he needed Unepta Jela is because he needed a progressive midfielder who can make box entries. Because Njobang Jela, sometimes we need people who can run off Umbule or off Umshishi. I think the one quality maybe, or the one thing that we need in the national team is a clinical striker. We need a striker that scores goals. And Dulail, for me, even though I believe in him,
I think he is clinical.
He's clinical, but I think we don't find him enough. And Arsene Wenger, Seth Felixson used to say to Abo Rooney, to Abo Paul Scholes, if you don't find Van Persie, you will not play. Yeah. I think maybe Hugo Bros or Abo Tabes, they need to improve the aspect, or they need to judge Rania Kumfana in terms of because we need to find him a little bit better. We don't find him, and for me, that worries me a little bit. There's a trailer that's playing there, which is fascinating. It's the Cali Black Label document. It's the first time I'm seeing it actually, which
you worked on the
which is very emotional for me actually.
Nice one. Let's just linger on a little bit.
Yes.
We're not plugging you, Colin. You guys need to pay us half a million
I'm just
for us to mention you, but we are here.
It's good to see my work actually.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah.
So this is what is it? An hour-long show? Or what is it?
It will be 2 episodes.
There's Tonic Chabalala.
Yeah.
The Mbesuma Whisperer is the only defender that Mbesuma couldn't score against him. There's Victor Hlungwane.
I thought being part of Giants I think this is a masterpiece.
And who is this?
Grant Pereira. He's the former director.
Director of?
The brand director of Culling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm only noticing people who are from football. There you are. So when is this? Is this a documentary that's playing?
It's going to play on the 22nd. It's going to air on SABC 1. Yeah, on
is
SABC
it like
1.
one hour and it's done?
No, it's...
Or it's a series?
30 minutes. Yeah, no, it's 30 minutes of 2 episodes.
Okay, nice one. Congratulations. But yeah, just to complete that thought, you think that this is the Afcon team? Yeah,
for sure. For me, this is the Afcon team, like I said to you, Mr. Nkewa, unless maybe there is a surprise, and maybe that surprise can be a team Ngosilo, shouldn't be surprised, or Nunemtajela. But other than that, for me, I think Coach Hugo has already set in his team. I think the reason why he played Ukabini, he wanted to use a fullback that always plays a center back.
I would never fight against that.
And height as well.
It has the height. It also has a left back who is a left back, not a left full back. Someone who doesn't go forward. And then Umudiba will give you going forward, but maybe vulnerable at the back. I can kind of understand that. But where we separate with people is this thing, Yaya.
I think the height is important as well.
If you have Nemtajela there, or Umbata has improved the passing forward, I think that it's a wasted space if you're not going to have someone else doing that. But anyhow, thank you very much, Lindo Pep. That's Bafana Bafana winning 3-1 against Zambia. We are drawing close to the African Cup of Nations, but next week week we'll go to the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup. iDiskiTV, iDiski Times, was suspecting.
Shapunjan bafowethu igama lami Lindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiskiTV. Tanko.
This is Bongane Benedict Villagazi, they call me so. Niazi Bafetu, I'm a coach for life. They are back in winning ways. Please, I tell you to subscribe to iDiskiTV.